This is the story of a 7-year-old girl named Katia who survives a plane crash alone. She does not travel by plane for 20 years, but when she travels by plane after 20 years, her entire world changes. At the beginning of the story, we are shown a 7-year-old girl named Katia who is traveling with her mom on a plane. Katia falls asleep, and then there is a lot of commotion on the plane. This wakes Katia up. She sees that her mom is not in the next seat. She wants to call her mom. Then the air hostess announces that we have to make an emergency landing. When Katia looks back, there is an old lady there. She appears to be performing some ritual. Then she opens her eyes. Her eyes are completely white. Seeing this, Katia gets scared, and then their plane crashes. In this plane crash, everyone except Katia is killed. In such a major plane crash, Katia's survival was nothing less than a miracle. It is discussed everywhere. But now Katia is scared of planes. 20 years have passed, and now Katia has a daughter too. But even today, Katia is known as the plane crash survivor. Katia goes out with her daughter, where reporters ask her, is she still afraid of plane journeys in her heart? Katia says that I have not traveled by plane for the past 20 years, but now I have recovered. The fear of planes has left my heart. That's why tomorrow I am traveling by plane with my daughter. Actually, Katia is going to her dad's house with her daughter. Katia is a psychologist by profession. That's why she recovered herself from the fear of planes. The next day, she boards the plane with her daughter, on which only 7 passengers are traveling. Katia's daughter insists on sitting in row number 19, but Katia says that we have to sit in our seat. Although the plane is empty, Katia still wants to sit in her assigned seat. There is a man named Alexei here with whom Katia talks. There is also an old couple traveling who are sitting behind. The old lady is very scared before takeoff. That's why Katia goes to her. She explains to her and also gives her anxiety pills so that she can remain calm. There is also an artist here who is trembling a lot. A businessman is sitting next to him. He asks, "Are you afraid?" But the artist does not answer him. And now the plane starts moving on the runway. Katia is very scared. That's why she goes to the washroom to manage her fear. Then she hears her mother's voice. She gets visions in which she sees a door. Her mother's voice was coming from behind the door. As soon as she opens the door, she comes out of the washroom, after which she starts going towards the pantry. But the air hostess says that you should sit in your seat. The plane is about to take off in a few seconds. Katia sits in her seat. Alexei sees that she is very scared. That's why he asks Katia, "Are you okay?" But Katia does not answer him, whereupon Katia's daughter says that when my mother was 7 years old, the plane she was traveling on had crashed, in which everyone except my mother had died. That's why she is scared before takeoff. There we are shown the businessman who notices that the artist is looking at him repeatedly. He thinks the artist is making a sketch of him. The businessman forbids the artist from doing this. A few hours pass, and now all the passengers are sleeping. Katia has a dream in which she sees that the atmosphere inside the plane is changing. There are many hands on the window. After this, she sees her mother with whom she is having lunch. And when she sees her mother in the mirror, her face is burning. She asks her mother, "How did you come back alive? You were killed in the plane crash." Her mother says that nothing like this happened. No plane has ever crashed. There was just a little turbulence in the plane, because of which you got scared. You thought the plane had crashed, but nothing like this had happened. After this, Katia's mother goes to the kitchen and she starts shaking her head in a strange way. It seems as if someone has put her under control, and that's when Katia wakes up. Now in the plane she is on, there is a lot of turbulence. And the old couple behind the old man starts talking, after which he becomes unconscious. Everyone gathers around him, and now his heart is not beating. That's why he is given CPR. The next moment he opens his eyes, which are completely white, just like 20 years ago. Katia had seen that old lady behind her seat, and now that old man grabs Katia, which scares her greatly. He is cursing Katia, after which he falls again. He is dead. That's when Katia sees a black shadow behind him. Katia doesn't understand what's going on with him. Now there is more turbulence in the plane, because of which things start flying here and there. Everyone sits in their seats. Also, the oxygen is low now. That's why everyone wears oxygen masks. Katia's daughter is still in the back seat. Katia is very worried about her, but soon the turbulence decreases, after which she goes to her daughter. Her daughter is very scared. Also, Katya was very frightened by that old man's words, and now Alexei comes to her and asks what happened. Katya says that 20 years ago in the plane, I was traveling on an old lady was sitting in my back row who was talking in a strange way. Her eyes were completely white. I felt like she had performed a ritual and crashed that plane, in which I should have been killed too. But I survived, which is perhaps against destiny, and now her soul wants to kill me. Alexei thinks that Katya just took anxiety pills to calm herself. This is the effect of that. That's why he explains to Katya and says that nothing like this will happen. At the same time, the body of that old man is put back, who has died. The air hostess has not told the pilot about this. Katya's daughter makes a sketch, which is a sketch of the inside of the plane. She tells her mom that we should go and sit in row number 19, but Katya refuses. There we are shown the artist who, after so much turbulence, even after the death of an old man, is busy with his work. The businessman is surprised to see this. He goes to him and talks to him. He also shows him the photo of his family, but the artist does not respond to his words. He wants to go back to his seat and sit, and now we are shown the sketch of the artist, which he has been making for a long time. This is the sketch of the same businessman who had just come to talk to him. Katya's daughter is talking to someone in the back row, and when Katya looks in the back row, there is no one there. Katya asks her daughter, "Who are you talking to?" She says that there is a girl in the back row who is telling me that your mom, Katya, is going to leave you soon. Katya explains to her daughter that I will never leave you. Then the air hostess comes and says that the weather is very bad. Turbulence will increase in the plane. That's why we have to make an emergency landing. And now where this plane is going to land. This is the same place where 20 years ago Katya's plane was about to land. But before that, it crashed, in which everyone except Katya died. Katya's daughter's fear and her anxiety increase even more. She tells Katya that the girl in the back row is telling me that when I see a burning man, then you will leave me. Katya says that I will not leave you and go anywhere. The businessman is shown to us who smokes his cigarette. But before that, he lights a cigarette. The artist forbids him to smoke a cigarette. But he does not listen to the artist. As the businessman turns on his lighter to light a cigarette, the fuel that was leaking from above, about which no one knew anything, catches fire. Although everyone comes and extinguishes the fire, the businessman is now badly injured. Katya sees the same figure once again, the same shadow that she had seen before. That figure is going towards her daughter's seat. Katya quickly goes to her daughter's seat, and when she looks towards the window, then in a flashback she remembers the day before, when she was at her house, and repeatedly she was seeing the same shadow, which she is seeing on the flight today. Katya freezes completely due to these visions, which scares Katya's daughter. But soon Katya comes back to her senses, after which she goes to the businessman again, where everyone is, but there the artist is still sitting in his seat. Even after such a major incident, it has no effect on him, which makes Katya very angry, and she scolds him harshly. After which the artist stands up, and from the businessman's phone, he shows her the photo of his family, which the businessman had shown him a while ago. After seeing that photo, the businessman dies. Maybe this was his last wish. Katya remembers that a while ago, the old lady had gone to the washroom, but she has not come out yet. That's why she goes to the washroom and calls the old lady, and there is no answer from inside. The air hostess comes there and tells Katya to sit in her seat, but Katya does not listen to her and opens the door of the washroom. She is surprised to see that there is no one inside. And then the old man who had died, his eyes open, he attacks Katya, because of which Katya falls, and then many hands come over. Katya's eyes go up. She sees that this is row number 19. This is the same row in which 20 years ago she was traveling with her mother. With this whole experience, Katya gets very scared. She goes to her daughter, and now at any cost, she wants to exit the plane. She takes her daughter when she is going towards the exit door. The air hostess comes in front of her and explains to her that you cannot exit a moving plane. And the next moment, the air hostess starts spitting water, after which she dies, and now that air hostess's eyes also become completely white. Before Katya could understand anything, Alexei also gets very sick. He also falls in his seat. Katia wants to get out of here. That's when she sees the sketchbook of that artist. He has made all those sketches in his sketchbook of what Katia has experienced here so far. Katia understands that she is also going to die because Katia also has a sketch in it, and now she wants to leave here with her daughter. But at this height, how can she get out of a flying plane? She doesn't understand anything. And then again, Alexei and the air hostess try to stop her. But then some power pulls the air hostess towards itself. Also, Alexei gets sick again, due to which he dies, running from one compartment of Katia's plane. She goes to another compartment with her daughter. But all these compartments are exactly the same. It seems that after opening the door, she is coming back to the same place again and again. Katia doesn't understand anything. Where should she go? It seems that she is stuck in a time loop. Katia's daughter leaves her hand and sits in row number 19, after which the same shadow moves towards her, which Katia sees repeatedly, and now Katia goes to that shadow. She sees that it is the same old lady who was 20 years ago. When Katia was 7 years old, she was sitting in the last row, whose eyes were completely white. That shadow tells that old lady Katia that 20 years ago that day I found out that the plane was going to crash. That's why I wanted to save you and your mom with my powers, but your mom couldn't survive. You have one more chance, you can fix everything. And after that, Katia reaches the plane again, which crashed 20 years ago. Katia sees that the same passengers are sitting in it, who were sitting with her in the present time. Katia's mom is helping them, just the way Katia was doing. Like helping an old man who had a heart attack, and now Katia's daughter says to Katia that it's time for me to go. Katia says that I don't want to lose you. Katia's daughter says that we will definitely meet again in the future. You have a chance to save your mom. You know what you have to do. Katia remembers everything, and she remembers that her daughter was telling her to sit in row number 19 repeatedly. She also remembers her sketch in which she made row number 19. Her mom's sketch was also on the window seat, and now Katia wakes up. This is the same 7-year-old girl Katia who was on the plane 20 years ago, in which there was a crash, in which everyone except her was killed. 7-year-old Katia sees that her mom is with the same old man who had a heart attack. She asks her mom to come to row number 19, and now the turbulence has increased a lot. No one was able to balance themselves. The plane is on fire, and then Katia's mom falls unconscious by colliding at one place. Katia goes to her mom and somehow tries to pull her to her seat. Then the man sitting next to her, who is actually Alexei, sits Katia's mom in his seat and puts a seatbelt on, also puts an oxygen mask on both of them, after which the man dies and now their plane crashes, after which we are shown row number 19, where Katia and her mom are sitting. Her mom has a cough from which she recovers, after which she picks up Katia. That means this time Katia and her mom survived. It is possible that Katia has time traveled, or it is also possible that the 20 years that Katia has experienced were just her dream. Or the old lady sitting behind her, it was the effect of her powers so that she could save her mom. What do you think? Did Katia really time travel? Will she be able to meet her daughter again in the future? Do write in the comment box. Thanks for watching.